This is A to Z Retail, welcoming you to a peaceful, tranquil, urban jungle surrounded by a canopy of skyscrapers. Where else can you find a bubbling stream with giant leaping frog statues? A rushing waterfall entrance with a layered brick staircase beckoning you to enter what appears to be an enchanting oasis, to only find, to your shock, a completely dry retail desert in the heart of downtown Phoenix. It goes by the name of the Arizona Center, and despite the exciting buzz around this great state, which is currently the second most moved to state in the union, Arizona Center instead captures more of a ghost town energy. It may seem new, and most of the external features are, but the Arizona Center was originally built in 1990. Instead of these white metal walls and gray brick floors, Arizona Center embraced the 90s classic desert vibe with reddish sandstone bricks everywhere to be seen. A major focus of the Arizona Center revitalization project that occurred 3 years ago was to redo the entrances into the mall and make them more open and more inviting. This is pretty open and more inviting, and it faces the street with this big jumbo screen even. And this is the other entrance they redid, which is near the AMC, and they put this big flashy sign, something to catch people's eyes while they walked by the street. They tore down the walls and made these flashy entranceways to invite potential patrons. We see here that a New Jersey Mike's is moving in, which is a great sign, in my opinion easily the best sandwich place. It's replacing some Herbalife, which I'm not a big fan of because of the MLM stuff, so good riddance, I guess. Now we're approaching the AMC entrance, and this is a relic of the mall's past. You can already see the orange-red bricks and color scheme I was telling you about earlier, and you can actually see them adorning this ticket box. I wonder how dry the air is in there. It's been quite a while since anyone's been working in there. Besides the red brick layering, I love this floor pattern you see. It's very 90s, and these benches kind of look weird, like something out of the Flintstones or something. Now we're approaching the actual entrance, and I love that inviting AMC Entertainment neon sign. I love that kind of jagged script font that they decided to use. They actually used to have escalators instead of these staircases before the remodeling. Now, I'm not sure if that was really worth it. It probably wasn't even then, but I guess they might have predicted that they'd even have less foot traffic after their remodeling, ironically. Now, I probably don't even need to tell you this, it's obvious, but look at all these empty storefronts, empty restaurant spaces on the left, empty retail spaces on the right. This Omamade restaurant we see here, I've been to it once about 2 years ago, but I'm not sure if it's even still open. We didn't see any activity, but this was early in the morning. This is a good example of tables that haven't been moved in quite a while, with a lot of dust. Now this looked like a restaurant that was doing pretty well pre-COVID, but post the shutdown seems to have locked its doors for good. It's really unfortunate to see restaurants that were struggling but maybe at least alive before COVID just getting shut down in this already dead retail environment. It's really hard to see. Now, this hot pink wall was interesting. They put all the business logos on here of places they have, so I guess it's kind of like a ward wall of some kind because you're still alive, I guess. Looks like they're so eager to put things on here. They already put the Jersey Mike's, which isn't even opened yet. Put your opinions on Cold Stone Creamery in the comments. I'm interested to see what everyone thinks. And this Bally Sports just moved in the office section on the second floor we're about to go to. And if you haven't heard of them, they're a brand new broadcasting partner for Arizona professional sports games on TV networks. As I just mentioned, we're on the second floor, which is entirely office space. Now, when we came here, I was surprised, because usually this office space is completely empty. I've only ever seen the cleaning crew up here. But we actually saw quite a few business people walking around, which was pleasantly surprising. I guess with the COVID restrictions being lifted now, more people are being either forced or excited to go back into the office. And I think that's a great thing for the Arizona Center. Maybe the retail will come back to life on the first floor as hungry workers go down for lunch breaks, and maybe they need to do a little shopping as well. So this might prove the mixed use model to work, but definitely in the COVID restriction era, this place has suffered greatly. This rounded Smith building across the way actually used to be where the old indoor food court was back in the 90s. These white sheets of metal and this textile structure throughout the middle of it seem to have failed to attract new tenants and new business, and you could argue they instead look more like the dry bones of a deceased animal, one that perished in the harsh Phoenix climate. Seems by all accounts that the economic resurgence promised by the $1 million revitalization project was, in fact, a mirage, at least for now. This retail space we're passing here with the orange doors was really huge. I believe it had 2 stories worth of floor space. It looked like something you would find an anchor in a mall. I don't think anything has ever occupied it. Do you think this looks like a dead animal? A beautiful dead animal? Let me know what you think of this white walled structure. Now we're on the third floor, which is even more depressing than the office floor, as this is owned entirely by ASU, and it doesn't seem to be used for classrooms or for anything. I think it's kind of extra office space, and since their campus has kind of expanded in other parts of downtown, this seems even more dead than the Mercado Center, which we just did a video on. It's sad to see these planter boxes with basically no plants in them. We looked in a few, and even the wood floors on the bottom of them seem to be rotting away, so they're just not taken care of well. It is cool to see this original red brick sandstone tiling up here. I'd assume it's from the original building. I hope you enjoyed the Arizona Center. It's quite beautiful and peaceful, and it's a great retreat from work if you're downtown, but that's not what they designed this to be. They wanted it to be bustling and exciting and the opposite of what it is. Never mind that. Come and visit it anyway, and maybe, just maybe, it will come back to life. Thanks for stopping by A to Z Retail, and see you next week.